Nicks and Bruises, we are back. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is Town. I got my guy, DJ Shuttle, in the building. Salute to you. Y'all know the slogan. Yes, sir. Hold up. I think either you're muted.
All aboard, we here.
There we go.
It's summer. You know, the summer season is over. Tony Crow told me last week we had to bring it down. We had to relax. We needed some time off. So I came back this week in vacation mode.
You looking like it, bro. I should have coordinated. You know what I mean? But
hey, I had to surprise you.
I'm fresh off a meeting at my job on my day off. You know, which is always sucks, but that's why the late start. But always a pleasure to be back with you guys.
Replay game and all that.
So last week we did nicknames, and we talked about Wingstop. You know, Mikal Bridges and OG. That's their nickname. Now we got Tyler, the Kreator, the young boy, the rookie, showed out in Summer League. You know what I mean? I think he had 7 assists every game in Summer League. Looked like a true point guard, true leader on the floor. You know what I mean? My intentions today was to do a show on Jokubaitis versus Tyler, and what we've seen between those two guys. We finally got a chance to see Jokubaitis. I think he played well as well. Didn't get the lead role as much. Played with the second unit more times than not. Shared the court with Tyler as well. I thought he played well though, and I was ready to be honest and come in here and give my honest opinion that I felt like when it came to those two guys, I thought Jokubaitis was more NBA ready. I thought Tyler, just because of his size, maybe, or lack of size, lack of strength, less NBA ready. But skill set, you know, pound for pound, I thought they were fairly equal. You know what I mean? I thought Jokubaitis was less of a pure point guard, but crafty. And Tyler, I mean, he's crafty as well. Could shoot the ball, could score the ball, but really, man, the guy drops dimes, and I think that's something that we don't have on this team. Not saying Brunson is not that, but we need Brunson to score. What was your thoughts on let's talk about both of them, but we're gonna focus on Tyler because Jokubaitis signed with Tel Aviv, right? So he won't be joining the team in any capacity this year. It was nice to see him, but Tyler got the nod, man. Signed the biggest contract of a second round pick, I think ever. Yeah, not just this year, but ever, which was eye opening from the jump. I think that was telling, and then you know, we'll get into the Ian Begley reports as well. But what was your thoughts of the 2 point guards in Summer League? How they both played? Yeah, break it down.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I expected. I had low expectations for Rokus, Jokubaitis. I had low expectations for this guy. He exceeded my expectations. He reminded me of a crafty left-handed Euro player that had a great run with the Warriors. You know, I'm gonna go back, you know, for my old heads for the 90s. Marshallonis. That's, you know, that's who he reminded me of. So I see him more as a shooting guard, combo guard, shooting guard versus really feeling like I could get him the ball and say he's going to be a point guard. And I mean, that's cool too. You know what I mean? But, you know, in terms of like, you know, who can be Brunson's steady Eddie backup point guard for the future, if you will, who can, you know, step in and not have a major drop off if Brunson has to be out. If I had to put my eggs in the basket, I 10 out of 10, it'd be Kolek over him.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, both, like I said, both those guys impressed me a lot. I felt like it could have went either way for the simple fact, Yokubitis, you said you had low expectations. I actually had more expectation or high expectations, just in the sense of he's coming from a professional league for the past however many years, his whole career. You know what I mean? He's been playing against men. He barely, well, he was trying to qualify for the Olympics. Like he's been in a more professional setting, so I thought that gave him an edge as far as like a rookie. Granted, I think Kolek was a 4 year pro, right? If not five.
So yeah,
Um,
yeah, college player. Yep.
so he got that experience. Probably playing against a lot of 5 year seniors. Over the past couple of years, given COVID and everybody getting these extra years. But no, I think even with my high expectations, I was pleasantly pleased with Yokobaya's performance. But Tyler, he's the guy that really shocked me. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't very versed on him as a college pro. Watched a lot of tapes, watched a lot of videos, but to watch it, kind of live in summer league, obviously wasn't there. But live on TV, yeah, man, I really like what I saw from him. I don't know if I didn't expect him to get. I mean, we jump into even Ian Begley reports of him being ahead of campaign in the scouting in the rotation. To be the second, the guard behind Brunson. That's shocking to me. Given campaign's experience. You know what I mean? Given his playoffs experience. I mean, he played a hell of a series against us this past year. He's been in the playoffs with the Suns on their championship run. To the finals. So yeah, that's saying a lot. We spoke about it off camera a little bit. Whether how believable is this to you? I know we spoke about Queen and her views. Like she don't see it happening with Tibbs. Without a training camp going by yet. But how legit do you think that is? That he is ahead of campaign currently in the rotation without playing a preseason game, going through a training camp, like basically based off summer league.
Well, while campaign has played in the league, he hasn't played with the Knicks. And when I look at the skill set, I just think that from a coaching perspective, he just fits more of what the coaches will want to get done. And and I wouldn't be shocked if he's the backup point guard. And the great thing though, why you get a veteran, and this is why I was an advocate for getting a vet point guard is even even if you didn't draft Kolek and you only had Deuce and Deuce was the backup point guard, you still needed a backup point guard with experience to come in, like the old saying goes, break glass in case of emergency, and you gotta have that at point guard. If your backups still or don't have experience or that much experience, you need a vet that's kind of like what Alec Burke actually ended up doing, right? Like you need an Alec Burke type that's gonna, they play in the league, they know what it is, they're not gonna be, you know,
Except
um,
they roll.
yeah, accept the role and not gonna be a deer in headlights, when the playoffs come and the lights are shining bright. And campaign already proved what he could do at the Garden, no less, in a playoff game. So you got him. You know what I mean? And if Kolek's not ready, he's not performing up to par. Listen, you send him down, you put him in the G League, whatever you got to do, and you get campaign back in there. But Payne's on a 1 year deal, so he's got a year to kind of help Kolek with the transition, and they don't have to rush Kolek. They could start him in the G League, they could bring him in eventually, they could start him if he shows he's ready, but I think he's gonna be ready, man. Like, I've been talking about him since before the draft. He was on my draft board, on my target for the Knicks to get. And I watched a lot of film on him, and I saw him in some games in college this past couple of years, and he just reminds me too much of Brunson. Like it's just like it's a kid that he might as well have gone to Villanova and been like Brunson part two. Like he plays that much like Brunson on offense, but he actually passes even better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to Tyler the Creator, man. I like it. I love the name. We might need to brand that one.
Speaking of which, that is the nickname. You guys in the chat, let me know if y'all rocking with it or not. We got Wingstop for Mikel and OG. Now we got Tyler the Creator. We're gonna keep, coming up with these nicknames while the series goes
Maybe
on.
do a poll. Maybe do a poll, Tony.
Um, yeah, I'm not versed enough currently with the
Doing the polls.
doing the polls while I'm on because I'm not right on YouTube. I'm on StreamYard, so I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
You know
I'm
what I
on.
mean? I would have to.
Oh, see now that's a cheat code. I gotta tell you, Tony. When we on the show, I'm also on YouTube. So sometimes I'm watching the comments at the same. I'm toggling back and forth.
No. I mean, I got the comments come up, but I have to go direct for me. You
Or
know what I
you have
mean?
to go
Directly.
inside.
Yeah.
Inside. Okay. All right. All right. All right.
Throw the
Well,
polls
listen.
out.
Let us know in the comments. Tyler the Creator. You like the name? Maybe you could give us a tomato if you hate it, and give us a thumbs up if you like it. Something like that.
If you rocking with it.
How about that,
Um.
Tone?
Nah. Yeah. That's a fact. Thumbs up if you rocking with it. Tomatoes if you're not. Um. I ain't gonna lie though. I'll be surprised if he's no if he's the backup from day one, just because number one, I don't think Cam is gonna just give it up. You know what I mean, or not put up a fight, or you know what I mean. I'm not saying he'll be a bad teammate and pout. You know what I mean. He gonna accept whatever role falls his way, but he ain't gonna just concede the backup role. You know what I mean? I wouldn't expect that from him. And if he did, then it wouldn't be a good look for me. You know what I mean? In my eyes. So you gotta want to take that spot and say, young fella, I'll bring you along slowly. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and speaking of Cam, I don't know if I sent you the video or not. I was sending it around in a couple of texts, but it kind of changed my perspective of him. I didn't really know his story of coming from the mid major, being highly drafted, um, and then being out the league. You know what I mean? Like I kind of remember him when he got drafted. Didn't follow him. I never knew he was out the league. I didn't really know about Phoenix kind of giving him his second shot. From
I
playing
knew
overseas
you
and
did
getting
send
that
it.
call.
Yeah, you did send it to me, and I knew a little bit of that story, but what you sent me definitely gave me a lot more in depth background, and yeah, like those are the guys to your point that they're not gonna just give the slot up. Like I don't work too hard to just even still be here, and he's gonna come in, work hard, do all the right things, be where he needs to be, and yeah, I don't expect him to just give it up either. So this guy's worked hard, man. It's a great story. Psycho Tycho.
I'm rocking with Tyler the Creator right now,
Yeah,
but
he's not really striking me as psycho.
Wayne gave it a thumbs up, so he rocking with it. Um, but yeah, like we were saying, I don't think he just gives up the spot. You know what I mean? Like I think he has high expectations for himself. He's on what you would call a prove it
One-year deal.
contract. You know what I mean? So he wants to boost his value, whether that's for a trade somewhere else or for an opportunity moving forward with this team or another. Um, Here's one we got Ice Kolek.
Ice in his veins.
I kind of like that too. I kind of like that too. Ice Kolek. Um, Shout out to Coach. Appreciate you joining. But yeah, I don't think he gives it up. But the kid is talented. He surprised me. I think he would have to just put on a couple more pounds, right? I think that's the basis of his defensive inefficiencies, other than obviously his lack of size, which you can't do anything about. But the strength thing, he's just got to get a little bit stronger. I could definitely see him getting pushed around in the league. You know, Cam is not that. He's not one you would call a strong point guard either. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So he may even out himself as far as getting the nod in that comparison, but that experience, I think you got to earn that. You got to get that, especially like shout out to Queen, like Queen said, um, under Tibbs. You know what I mean? Nothing is given under Tibbs. Everything is earned. Everything is proven. You got to work your way up. So to get that nod from jump, I would be surprised. But believe me, I am not advocating for it not to happen, because if it does, I know that means Tibbs approved of it. It's not the front office forcing anything
Oh
on
yeah,
him or anything like that. So yeah,
absolutely.
I
Well,
mean,
either way, whether it's Cam or it's Kolek, I'm cool with it. Um, if he's not ready, you got to bring him on a little slow. If he's proving it, and you guys want to get him in there, amazing.
yeah, that's good luck to him, man. I'm looking for, like, I can't wait till the season to start, but I can't wait for training camp. You know what I mean? I can't wait to hear about these battles. You know what I mean? Who's playing, who's out playing who? You know what I mean? These cross matchups. You know what I mean? With OG and Mikal potentially guarding each other in some practices and things of that nature. Still sharper than steel all over the court. You know what I mean?
Now,
Um,
I don't know how much I spoke about this last week, but I don't want to overlook it before you jump onto the Randle thing. But about, like, and this is what I mentioned to Queen today, right? Now, um, all assumption was that Deuce would be the returning backup point guard, but as I've tried to tell many, and others have also said, Deuce is not really a point guard. He's really a shooting guard. If you had to pick one, you know what I mean? He's not someone you can just give the ball to. Yeah, but with this team, you know, you can just give it to Randle, give it to Bridges. He doesn't have to be a Chris Paul type point guard, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I hear all of that, but I'm not really feeling all of that. Like, the backup point guard got to be the backup point guard. You know what I mean? And Ian Bailey's report is talking about Kolek and then Payne. Even if you want to say, hey, Payne then Kolek, let's talk about it though. Deuce is not being mentioned there.
we
Okay. All
I
right.
mean, he did say they view Deuce as a two more than as a one,
Now,
and but the ramifications of that is still relevant to speak on.
because now this puts this puts Dante, as we know, with Bridges coming in, this puts Dante as the backup shooting guard. He has a couple of years on his contract. Bridges is probably going to get re-signed, and now you're looking at Bridges and Dante as the 1 and 2 as shooting guard for the next 4 or 5 years, probably, right? At least the next 2 years.
Yeah,
So, with that being said, with Cam, with Kolek, and Dante as the backup shooting guard, basically there are no minutes for Deuce right now.
all right. Hold that thought real quick. We're gonna transition to that exact conversation. Let me shout out to J Boogie. Salute. You know what I mean? As always, thank you for joining.
No
Um,
doubt, no doubt.
we we spoke on nicknames last week. We did Wingstop, Tyler, OG, and Mikal. That's their nickname, Wingstop. And today we got Tyler the Creator. You know what I mean? Kolek. I want you to just give your thoughts on Tyler, what you saw from him in summer league. Ian Begley's report that he's ahead of campaign currently in the rotation, so he's the backup point guard. What's your thoughts on that whole situation? But first, how you like the nickname Tyler the Creator? That's Kreator with a K, by the way. You know what I mean? You rocking with it, or it's a tomato?
I don't know yet, man. Something got to be stood all the way out for this young fella, man. Because he's a ball player. I know about him at WV in West Virginia. You know what I'm saying? I don't seen him play. When we got him, when everybody was pushing, talking about first of all, shout out to the chat, blessings, health, happiness, everybody. What up, Mr. TC, my man Tony Crow? Shout out, you know what I'm saying, to the Grandmaster DJ Shuttle himself, you know what I'm saying. Hope everybody's in the greatest form of health. That's even for the ones that's viewing and watching. When we got him and everybody was talking about comparing him to the dude in Indiana, I went somewhere else totally different. And I called him the young, you know what I'm saying, the young dragon, you know what I'm saying, Goran Dragon all over again. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like of his game. I don't want him to be a McConnell, because McConnell is our enemy. But even though McConnell got a nice game, but this guy right here, um, he has a lot, he has a high level in his IQ game. It's real high. He understands the game of basketball. He's not all great, fantastically athleticism, but you know what I'm saying? You don't need that, you don't need that for athletes don't win 48 minutes. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to be able to think this game. And this guy knows how to think. He knows how to think. He knows how to play. He knows how to keep his team um tuned in. He know how to not let his teammates, fall off and forget what they doing. And if you're not in the right place to be where you're supposed to be at, he know how to remind you how to get there. He leads you and makes sure you're in your right spots. I was happy when we got that guy, and I already knew off top that we had a point guard. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to take nothing away from Deuce. I love Deuce game, everything they done. Deuce is probably the one that brought him to the attention, you know what I'm saying, to the organization.
from
When
West
guys
Virginia.
leave college and everything and make it to the pros, they always go back to campus, to their campuses, and work out and play with the younger guys there, you know what I'm saying, to help them out with their game. So Deuce is probably the one that brought him to their attention and let him know about what this guy can be and what he can do. And I'm so glad that we went and got a point guard. We're filling up the necessary needs, what we need to be doing, and that says a lot for our franchise. And we got a lot of guard play, and we got a lot of wing players, more than we ever had, in the past tense. So I'm happy with that. We got a lot of ball handlers, a lot of guys that can create for themselves, a lot of guys that can slash, a lot of guys that can cut, a lot of guys that can read, a lot of guys that can pass, you know what I'm saying? So the intelligence of the New York Knicks is starting to elevate into a whole nother level, another
Mhm.
form of basketball, and that's gonna do nothing but benefit the team. But I love this guy's game, man.
One
Kolek, man, I love his game, man.
one thing you didn't mention, and I just wanted to add on about him.
Mhm.
He seems to hit big shots as well. You know what I mean? Like, so he finds everybody, gets everybody involved, gets them in the right spot. But one thing I noticed in these games, when it was time for him to get a bucket, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Or when it was time for when the team needed a bucket, you know what I mean? Like, he stepped up and hit big shots, whether it was a three or attacking the basket. So I mean, he definitely opened my eyes. And then I felt like that was the biggest difference between
Mhm.
him and Jokic. I thought Jokic is more NBA ready, but I think that basketball IQ is what separated Tyler from
Mhm.
Jokic. Because I think Jokic played great as well. You know
Right.
what I mean? And I wouldn't have been mad if he had whatever role willing, if he had a role on the team either. But obviously he's back overseas again, signed with another Tel Aviv. So
Mhm.
we still got the right. So he's still a trade his rights are still an asset. You know what I mean? If
Right.
we need to move him, but yeah, I agree, man. His basketball IQ is really what separates him. And to your point, Shuttle, when you say he reminds you of Brunson, I see that in the sense of he's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, he's not the most athletic. It's the basketball IQ that separates him on that floor. You know what I mean? He's able to get to his spots, make his right reads, and he's crafty. You know what I mean? So guys like that have a long career.
He got some of that footwork.
You know, you don't gotta worry about when the athleticism goes, when you know what I mean, when the quickness goes, because none of that stuff is really in he doesn't rely on that now. He doesn't really have that in his bag now. So it's really all about IQ, and that only gets better as you get older, as you grow.
You know, when you're not scared to fail, you're not scared to, you know what I'm saying, make mistakes, you're only going to get better. And he's one of them guys he's not scared to fail. And that's why, like you said, you realize he'll take a shot because he's not scared of the moment. And that's what you need is guys that's not scared of the moment. You know, you seen times where it's like with Brunson has that. And you seen times before when, like, in the past history, you know, even with Julius, you know, we seen times where it's, dang, Julius don't really want to shoot the ball. Or dang, Julius really don't want to go to the line. You know what I'm saying? Certain people that got that they, you know what I'm saying? They can't wait to be in those moments. And it just seems like, you know, when they draw that play up for him to go, you know what I'm saying, to go win that game, you know, and he just said, man, he trusted his craft. And then when they gave him the hard left, you know, shoot, he knew what to do. You know, he wasn't scared of the moment. But man, I'm really happy with. I can't wait for the new season to get involved with, man. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready. Forget all this other. You know, I'm checking the list off. Vacation time is now. They vacationing.
Hey, Boogie,
I don't went on my vacation.
I brought the vacation outfit. That's what we're doing right now.
I see that. I'm vacation. I gotta be opposite of everybody. Cause you know, when everybody was grinding and doing it, I was vacationing. And now it's vacationing time. You know, I got to grind. I got to be in the gym. In other words, I got to be in the stoop. I'm doing what I do. I don't see, heard, listening, you know what I'm saying? And winning in the internets and the dictionaries and of the Knicks and figuring out what I need to be doing, what I want to do and everything. But now everybody's going on vacation. So this is another check mark. Because after this, it's preseason. Camp is open. You know, once the camp open, you know what time it is. And the thing about it, don't think that thing is not going to come with a hurry up, because football is right around the corner. So, man, here we are. This is the best times right here, right now, man.
Let me ask you guys two questions, and then I'm gonna transition to what Shuttle was talking about with you know, what it potentially means for Deuce. Out of this summer league, out of these young rookies that we had, actually, let's just go through the list. Tell me what you saw from Ariel. Tell me what you saw from well, we don't really got to talk about Yokubitis because he, you know what I mean, he's overseas, but the young French kid as well. Any chance for either one of these guys, and possibly the other 7-footer who I think showed out this summer league. He's been on our summer league team a couple years now. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Slevy, I think they call him something like that.
Dimitri.
Yes. But anybody else stood out and you think has an opportunity to either make the team or even carve out a niche on the team?
I think Daddy is gonna make the team. I think he's gonna.
He's signed. He's a first-round pick, so he's on it on the team regardless. But
he can still be in the G League.
Yeah.
But I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be on the big team. I think he's like, you can lock him in. I don't think he plays much. You know what I mean? I don't think he really plays. I don't think he's like in the rotation. But it's one thing that I learned growing up playing with the old heads. Yo, move, move, move. Yo, I feel like every game this guy is making himself available for a
Cutting them.
pass,
Yep.
and he's getting layups back door like like he going to rob the place. He in the back door boogie like he's going to rob the place. You feel me?
Mhm.
And he's like I mean, this kid's 18 and he understands getting to the basket. I think that his shot is good enough that he'll be a very solid catch and shoot guy, and he does show some ability to create. I think he has the wingspan and the effort to potentially be a plus defender. So like low key, like I don't expect a lot right now. Maybe not even till year 3, but we saw what Deuce's year 3 was. You feel me? So I'm not expecting a lot anytime soon, but I think he's going to really surprise some people.
What I like
Very,
about him,
very optimistic.
to your credit of what you're saying, one of the things I like about him the most is he could be a guy who gets whatever the minutes are, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. You know what I mean? But he's gonna find, like you said, find the open spaces. You know what I mean? He's a low usage guy, so you don't have to put the ball in his hands. He looked like a pretty good defender, or at least have the potential to be. He moved his feet well. You know what I mean? Like he know how to stay in front of his man. Like he's fundamentally sound. I don't think you're gonna get anything extra from him. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're not gonna go to him for a bucket, but he's gonna get lunch pail buckets. You know what I mean? Like dirty work buckets, uh, offensive rebounds, cuts. Just being in the right space at the right time. Those guys with that mentality are hard to find. You know what I mean? Let alone the super talented guys who know how to implement that to their game. But for that to be like his fundamentals, he's always gonna be able to find or just be effective in limited minutes. You know what I mean? So I definitely like that about him.
It's a great starting point. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's your starting point, that you know how to cut, you know how to get open, and you can catch and shoot, and you working hard on defense, like that's a great starting point. I just want to just quickly also add the fact that when he was drafted, I kind of just immediately by default expected he was going to be a draft and stash, but then saw him play and said, "Oh, okay." He really, like he said, "Yo, I'm not going back. I'm gonna be here." You know what I mean? And I respected what he said and that he actually backed it up. And I that's why, again, saying that he's gonna be here and he's gonna be on a team, I think it's a big deal because I don't think I was the only one that presumed or assumed he would be a draft and stash.
Yeah, that was definitely. I like that attitude as well because that was the presumption out of the draft. All right, we're gonna get this young guy. He'll be, what I mean, he'll
Save the
develop
money,
overseas or whatever.
save the
Yeah.
money, go get somebody else.
And I think that would that might have been his choice. You know what I mean? Like I don't think the Knicks can force him being a first round pick. They can't force him to go to stay overseas. You know what I mean? The most they could do is say, "All right, we have to sign you, but we're not going to play you." The fact that he said, "Okay, don't play me. I can learn from the bench." You know what I mean? I can learn in the G League. I could but I want to be here. Yeah, that says a lot. Some people, Yokubitis, he didn't want to be here if his role wasn't defined, solidified. You know what I mean?
He not
So
even starting where he at.
but again, it's just this two different mentalities. That's all I'm saying. Like this guy is willing to sit on the bench and learn, as opposed to Yokubitis who's saying, "Oh, if I'm not the backup, at least the backup. Like I'd rather be the, you know what I mean? I'd rather play and wait my turn." So it's just two different mentalities. Um, J Boogie, what's your thoughts? Any standouts? Anybody you think could carve out a niche or opportunity?
Your first thing first, let me shout out, you know what I'm saying, to let me his name Dwayne. His name is Dwayne Jr.
Washington.
Washington, is it Dwayne
Washington.
Washington? Let
Yes,
me
yes.
shout let me shout him out. You know what I'm saying? And I wish the best for him, you know what I'm saying, for anything that he can do to
He
you
reading the
know,
obituary, Tony. He reading the obituary.
mhm, yeah, somehow, some way to make a career for himself, for him and his family, you know. He reminds me so much of an Eddie House, you
Mm.
know, just watching how he, you know, because there was times that he was shooting that thing and I was like, yeah, pull it, let it go. Knocking him, the man can shoot that rock, but we have no place for him, you know, amongst us. Outside of
Wait,
our
Jay
number
Boogie,
one,
real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off, but you just you giving him his flowers. Let's give this organization their flowers for giving him the opportunity
yeah,
to be a lead guy and showcase himself
right.
for the rest of the league. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Like,
yes, yes, yes. Rose, you know, in due time, y'all gonna hear it, man. I just did a song for Leon Rose. I just honored him. So, you know what I'm saying? And you know, Leon does not never stop seeming to amaze me. Other people he might, and the reason why they get amazed because they don't know what he's gonna do. It's not for you to know what he's gonna do. If you just be patient and let the man work, he gonna figure it out. And he always come with a time bomb. You know, when you least expect it. You know, Leon is betting 1,000 back-to-back trade deadlines. So whatever we don't do right here, right now, I know he get ready to do something incredible come the trade deadline. You know what I'm saying? So get a man his time, his space that he deserved, you know what I'm saying, to take time off from all thinking so much and put other things together, you know what I'm saying, when the season start, you know, because that man takes no breaks. You know, the phone is constantly, he's constantly calling. Now it's time to see if somebody will call back. If nobody's calling back, then you know what I'm saying, you continue on with your vacation. But when the season starts, he's gonna realize what we need. He's gonna realize what we need to do, and he's gonna start pushing those buttons, and he's gonna make, you know what I'm saying, plans and reservations to make another trade come that deadline. You can believe that. That's facts. Because you can't knock what he done did. Josh Hart 1 year, OG the next year. What's the record of, we might be something like 40 and 5.
after the trade, after
Yeah,
records
yeah. We might be
combined after
something
the
like,
trades.
yeah, combined like 40 and 5, something like that.
I mean,
Combined.
nah, it ain't that because I'm thinking like even Derrick Rose, we did that one. You know what I mean?
I was just about to
The
say
record
that.
went crazy after that. You know what I mean? Then it was Josh Hart, right? Then it was OG. You know what I
Right.
mean? But yeah, but each time we went on this crazy run,
Yeah,
and it
crazy
got
one.
better. It got better each time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Derrick Rose was great. That run was great to
Yeah,
end
but
the
Derek
season.
got Derek is Derek, but I mean Derek.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying
yeah.
it
I
goes
understand
back.
what you.
It goes back an extra year. We
It
gotta
go
include that.
it goes back an extra year. You're right, and you're right. We should not forget about the trade with Derrick Rose. But far as that solid impact, solid thing right there, that Josh Hart OG, he went and got some things right there when he did that. But these it's only two guys that's going to be a factor amongst this team, and they're gonna be on this roster. And I don't want our first round guy to go back across season or nothing. I want him to stay here and get it because he got guys that's going to be willing to show him too. Bridges, OG, they going to be willing to show him, and they already done seen it picked up from game one when he was willing to check that dude over there, Charlotte. You know, his if you got the heart, then everything else can follow. You can have all the other skill sets, but if you don't have no heart, then the skill sets gonna sooner or later they're gonna just disappear. But he has heart. So, but these two guys that we got, they need to be on that bench. They need to do away with something on that bench. I don't know what it is. I don't want to see none of them guys that I was seeing last year. I mean, I might even not want to see Toppin. That's just me. I like this kid's game right here. He got a lot. He
Boogie,
got a lot. And like you say, he's only 18.
yeah,
He
Boogie
has a
though.
lot with his
It,
game.
it's not unreasonable though that Toppin and Daddy A can both be on the team.
Oh, I mean, they can, but I look for him like he need to be realizing, yo, you on his way. You need to go get him.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. If you want to be on, you want to make yourself known and be on this team, right? You need to go get Toppin. Go get him. Off top, off rip. And Toppin need to be looking at him like, dude, I ain't letting you get ready to get my spot. I'm getting ready to see about you. You know, that's how they need to, correspond with one another, man. I want to see some things happening inside the practices, man. I remember back in the days, man, Nassau County, you can go and watch the games. I don't said it numerous times. I used to go sit up in there and watch them practice and watch Rod Strickland just give Mark Jackson the business. You know what I'm saying? Just give him the business. And it was like ugly up in there, But, now it's all closed doors. You can't get in there and everything. You used to have it open to the public and everything, but they don't do that. But I like to see these two guys that we drafted be on this roster. Forget everything else. Be on this roster. The rest of them, they ain't even coming along because.
And when you say these two, Boogie, you talking about Daddy A and Kolek?
Yeah,
because we did draft.
I ain't got time for nobody else.
Oh, okay. Because there were 4 draft picks.
Yeah, no. All that other time don't have time to develop them guys. If you ain't got it right now to observe and watch and be willing and to stay right there until I call upon you to come on in and make noise, I don't have time for you. Tom don't develop. He don't develop enough.
Our biggest need currently moving forward is the center position. You don't see anything in area or the what you said, Demetrius?
Yeah, Dimitri or Porti.
You don't see anything in those two bigs. I mean, considering we need, whether it's a body 6'5", whatever you want, you know what I mean. We need to fill them holes.
The things that everybody say we might need right now could be the biggest threat to the other teams because we don't have them right now. We all want a big man. We all know what happened with Hartenstein. Yeah, we lost a starting center and we lost a backup center, and really I feel like we lost 2 centers. That's a bar too. But I ain't stressing about that center play because I only need a center against MB, and I got one. Long as he can stay healthy. Everybody else gonna play small ball. Everybody else, and that small ball is what's really. That's how Boston won it. That's how Golden State won it. Who else between them?
I mean, I agree to an extent.
Right.
Like I think number one, as the roster's currently constructed, we are forced to play some minutes at small ball. You know what I mean? Like, right. Everybody knows Mitch is my guy, but I can't sit here and act like I expect him to play 82 games, 72 games. You know what I mean? Like at this point, I'm happy with 65 if most of it is on the tail end, the back end, you know what I mean, into the playoffs availability. So that, I'm taking all those things into consideration. I would love small ball, you know what I mean, not as a, not as a primary, but even if Mitch goes down, where does that leave us? You know what I mean? I want to have the option at the very least to play big when we need to. I don't want to be constructed to where we have to play small ball, especially if Mitch goes down. So, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm saying if we don't have anybody else, no other moves done, we might need to bring in 1 or 2 of those bigs. And I don't think they played bad in the summer league. I think they both showed some type of promise. You know what I mean? Like they're not being at that center position, especially with this roster. They're gonna have the least amount of responsibility. You know what I mean? Their roles as a young guy learning the position is probably easiest at the center position than any other spot on this roster. You know what I mean? Well, I say that in the extent that the responsibility for the center position is minimal. You got to rebound, you got to defend. Like you do those two things well, you be able to see court. Now anything else you work on, you get better at over time. You know what I mean? Even when we talk about the young guys at the guard position, or I mean, theoretically they're gonna have less responsibility because you playing behind Brunson, so your minutes are gonna be limited. You know what I mean? If you're a two, you playing behind. We talk about Deuce. That's gonna be the next thing. He's down a third string two guard right now. You know what I mean? So the responsibility for the center position right now, we need bodies, 6 fouls, defense, defend and rebound, and I think you could see the court. You know what I mean? And then everything else you bring potentially is a bonus. But that has to be considered our weakest position currently.
So what is Sims gonna do then?
I mean, I'm not leaving him out. I hope he's still in. I'm still hope he's in the plans, but he's got to develop. I'll be honest. I think both the centers that played in summer league offensively showed more than I've seen from Sims offensively. What Sims does well, you know what I mean? He does well. He can see the court, but there was some things that I seen after Sims made that turnover in the playoffs. He didn't see another minute. Like I felt like all the grace that he earned, all the support that he earned, like I think all that went out the window when he made that one mistake where he was dribbling up court. He had to take 2 more steps to pass half court, and he froze up. You know what I mean? And it ended up being a crucial turnover at that time. But Sims did not see the court again after that, and theoretically we could have used him. So
let me ask
I'm
you
not
this quick
giving up
question.
on him, but
Let me ask you this quick question since we talking about Sim real quick. You think his time here is in jeopardy now? Do you think like because I thought he should have been on that summer league team,
I would have loved that.
but it is a possibility that he might have wanted to play or he was trying to go play and they didn't allow him to play just so they can bring them other guys
And
so
see
they
what
can
they
get
got.
a full
Yeah, that I mean that's the way I was looking at it, because logically he could have still used more time. You know what I mean? He could have been amongst the top ends. The what's the gentleman we shouted out earlier? No. The guy who's not going to be here, but he was kind of no the leading scorer for us in summer league.
Oh,
Washington. You know what I mean? Like Washington, Toppin, Sims. Those could have been our lead guys as far as in summer league, because seniority, because the most experience, because of that. So the fact that Sims wasn't there, I feel like that was only to get a full look at the two bigs that was on the court.
Them guys haven't played the minutes Sims played. Like Sims has actually started. He's actually started games for the Knicks. True. You know, a guy like that, you don't really put in the league unless it's like year number 2. You know, like if it's year number 2, all right, yeah, you go back your second year, you kind of, get your refresher course and get ready back. But like we going into like year 4, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of past that. Like he is who he is now. A couple of quick things I just want to make sure that we don't miss over. So the thing Boogie is right is like to Tone's question with the 2 centers, right? If no other moves are made, even with Sims, you still need a third center, just like you had Hardenstein, Mitch, and Sims. So really the question is, do you see either one of them capable, or how you feel about one of those 2 picking one of them up to say, all right, we're going to bring you to the team and you're going to be the third string guy? I think that's really the question.
Yeah. Because I'm not saying either one of them would necessarily jump ahead of Sims. They would have to earn it and outplay Sims, beat Sims out. You know what I mean? We know with Tibbs, you know, Tyler Kolek aside, nothing is given. You know what I mean? Everything is a process, and you have to earn it before you got to earn it before you get it. So I wouldn't expect either one of them to jump ahead of Sims, but if they did, it would be because they beat him out.
I would say because of the athleticism, I would give Porty the edge right now.
Of the two to make the team.
Yep. Because of the athleticism. I mean,
I feel like you could go either way because I think
you could go either way.
Because the other dude, you know what I mean, he stretches the floor. It's a dynamic that we really haven't had in this under this regime.
I don't want Dimitri shooting from outside.
I mean, even mid range, like he could shoot the ball. Is what I'm saying. You know, had a similar had a similar floater. You know what I mean, like to Hartenstein.
And the other thing, Boogie, is you gave Washington his flowers, and that's nice. But as we're talking about the center and the fact that we are looking at the team maybe acquiring a center, all the talk has been about the likelihood is if the team makes a trade, that Deuce likely would need to be included in that trade. Considering that Deuce is down to third string shooting guard and is not looking at any consistent minutes likely anyway, I think there's a slight possibility if that does happen, maybe Washington slides into the Deuce spot as the third string shooting guard.
It's a lot of opportunities that can happen amongst this team. I just me personally, I know for a fact that they blew opportunities as far as getting big inside that draft. And these guys that they trying to make it up with, you're not going to make that up with Jay Boogie. Them guys ain't showing me nothing. I mean, you blew opportunities to get a big.
Edie, right?
You understand which way.
Or did he got picked early?
He got picked early. Now, they would have had to move up in the draft to get a center.
They could have done that, but they decided, you know what I'm saying, they needed to move back to save money or do whatever it is they needed to do or whatever. But I thought they could have gave up two of those, picks, and just to get one. And my whole mind frame was on the guy out of Indiana. That's where I was at. And I know Woody was in their ear. I know Woody got in their ear and said, listen, his first year was blah, blah, blah. He was lazy and all that, but he got it in gear. He's ready to go. You need to come get this guy. You need to get him. And we didn't go get a big. And then the dude from Duke, he was there. We didn't go get him. So it's just hard for me to sit there and watch these guys, and I know, you're not just going to spin me off with these guys. You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to go get something to trade. Now, can they be on this roster as a backup necessary? I get all that, what y'all saying. In case something happens, third string, be there, get some type of little development or whatever. But I'm going to stick to what I'm saying. I believe Tom already told him I ain't trying to develop nothing this year. I'm developed already. I don't did all my developing. If they ain't got it by now, they ain't going to get it. Eye contact. They ain't got it. They ain't gonna get it.
Well, the players that have developed that have done well quickly traded. RJ didn't really develop. Mitch is here and still doing what he does, and Grimes, some development but hit a wall. Also traded, and am I missing somebody?
I mean, if you want to consider iHeart,
He
had his most production under Tibbs.
Yeah,
whether you want to credit
Tibbs, and he's gone. So now it's not like you could just be like, he took these guys and developed them, and now the team is, he took 4 years of development, and now, because all the players he developed, other than Mitch, none of them are here. So, Brunson is only, 2 years. Randle's been around, but you know, it's not like he's got the same old guys that he's developed. So I don't know how strong that argument would be.
Well, I knew Grimes was up out of here once Dante got. Once one of his men got up in here, I knew all along he was going to get that spot, and then he kept getting injured and injured. But he has developed Deuce and made Deuce become who he is today. I give him that.
And what
I can't give him some far as with Mitch, but I just believe with this roster that he has, far as what we got, Deuce. Right now we got Deuce, Dante, and Josh Hart. We know that's solid coming off the bench. We know they solid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is his best. This is his best five to do anything. I just feel like he's not. I just feel like he's not interested in trying to do anything really, pretty much with anybody else. Get it out of practice and get it from these guys. If somebody goes down, hopefully you're ready to go. But I believe that man focuses on them 8 guys. I just feel like that. And they don't give him what they talking about giving him $10 million.
Pay the man.
let me ask this. Do you think there's a chance? Let's say Kolek is slotted in as the backup point guard. Do you think there's a chance that everybody moves up, where Deuce is the backup 2, DiVincenzo moves to the backup 3, and Hart moves to the backup 4? I think the job becomes the most difficult probably for DiVincenzo. I mean, you consider Hart started at the 4. If he's playing the backup 4, that should be no problem for him, right? Considering he had to go against the lead for a large portion of last year. So I guess the main question is, can DiVincenzo play the backup 3? And does that open the door for Deuce not to be the odd man out, to kind of still continue to develop? Or do you think Deuce is slotted 3rd string and that's what it is? 3rd string 2 guard. Cause that's tough, man. Like, this man did earn, you know what I mean? He fought and earned his way into the rotation. You know what I mean? Performed every opportunity he got. You know what I mean? And then to be relegated back to
Well,
or is it open the door for the trade, the moving him?
I'm not going to say that he forced himself into the rotation. Yeah, opportunity came for him, and he went and he came on the court. I think he stayed in the rotation more than anything. Forcing would be if them guys are still here and he took somebody's spot. Like IQ or RJ. If he'd have took, to me, that's forcing. I don't believe Dante's going to move up to the 3. I think he's going to stay at the 2. Because you're going to always see some point in time, you're going to always see OG or you're going to see Bridges on the floor at all times. One of them going to always play the 3 at all times. And we do know that Bridges is at the 2, but we know he can play the 3. And we know OG is at the 3, but he can play the 4. We do know that. And
Hart can play the 2 or 3 or the 4 too.
Right. I mean, that Josh can play anywhere he want to play. That's just his effort. But as far as Dante, I don't think you're gonna see Dante moving all the way up doing those things. I just
even
believe
in the backup, even against backups.
I don't think that. I think he's still gonna stay at the 2, and at worst, Bridges or OG will be at the 3, and I think he's just gonna stay right there and kill. I don't want people to slide all the way from Dante, because Dante developed a whole lot to his game this year, and a lot of that, some of that was with Tom, some of that he already had, some and it just happened for him. But he learned how to somehow, some way, be able to take some people off the dribbles at some times during the game. That happened for him. And I think that's going to make him better for us this season, whereas he don't have to just go to a standstill catch and shooter or a cut and catch and shooter. He can still be as he was last year, but coming off the bench. But
Hey, I feel like you're right. We got to give Dante more flowers because this man got less love than Fournier when Fournier broke the 3-point record. Fournier did it in a bad year, in a bad season. You know what I mean? Bad year for the Knicks. Broke the record, got more love than Dante doing it in a historically good year. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't hear enough respect put on his name, enough praise put on his
that's
game.
because the Knicks fans was just looking for anything for Fournier. That's why we're happy about anything this guy do, man. Because you know, man, where's he at now?
Hey, listen,
He should have been in summer league.
that's not our worry. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? FIBA Fournier, maybe, who knows? But on a more positive note, to your point, Bridges or OG is going to be on the court. I would say 99% of the time, and I predict OG comes out first, and he gets the white glove Kawhi treatment, and Dante is the first man off the bench. And then now you get to have Brunson, Bridges, and Dante all playing together. And I think that's going to be, that's going to be like the secret sauce, if you will. Pull OG out first, and if anything,
then Hart takes out Randle. So now you got the Villanova 4.
Exactly. Yep. But listen, I love Deuce as much as anybody else, but that proposal, bringing Deuce and Dante and Campaign and Hart, nah, I just really don't see that, because the length and the defense of Bridges and OG is too valuable to the defense and to the whole team.
Is Deuce more valuable as a trade asset currently than he is potential production?
There's no room for him to really play any consistent minutes. So it's by far trade value. And I mean, Deuce is a great story. I mean, he's the type of guy you love, and he got it from the mud, and he stayed ready, and there's no issue with Deuce. It's just that the quality of players now has just increased so much that the minutes that you were able to get, let's flash back, right? RJ got traded and Quickly got traded. You know what I mean? This is what really opened the door up for Deuce to flourish last year. It's not like he was doing this when Quickly and RJ was here, because the minutes weren't available. So now you bring in Bridges. Now you bring in Kolek. Now you bring in Campaign. The minutes just aren't there. It's back to what he had the first 2 years. Like, if you don't get traded, stay ready, and somebody goes down, just be ready in case of emergency. But I just don't see how he is on the roster when the season starts. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Oh, so you think he's going to be gone before the season starts?
I think that the Knicks, to your point, Boogie, need a center. They need a center.
Right.
You just gave me the whole spill. We're not going to develop nobody. We got to get somebody. There's nobody else that you can trade that's on the team. There's nobody else that has a contract that has any money. He makes $5 million. Richards on the Hornets makes $5 million. So he's the only money you got. These only chips you got to work with that's left. You're not dealing Hart. You're not dealing Dante. You already know that.
You got the potential of Precious sign and trade, and then you got a couple of trade exceptions. But
and Sims' contract is, he is, the money is not valuable enough to make him that it's enough value to even use him in this deal. And I think I did mention this last week, but you talked about giving Rose his flowers, right? this is another time to talk about giving flowers to not only him but the whole front office. Deuce really wasn't deserving to get that new contract, but giving him a new contract and giving him more money put
Makes
you
him
two
flippable.
steps ahead to be able to use him in a potential
Mm-hmm.
trade. Hence the point where we are today. So they were two steps ahead with that chess move, and I don't know if everybody else see that and get that, but it was a solid play to give him that money up front.
And they made the RJ quickly trade, and that was like right after. You know what I mean? Like they ain't even let the dust settle. It was like,
and that was to improve that chip down the road, whether it was last season if they needed to do it, or where we at now, because you know you got to give up something to get something. That's the only way this is going to work.
all right. The last thing I want to talk about is this Randle and the front office mutually or both not interested in having extension talks. Currently, I took that as this year. You know what I mean? I took that as they're not trying to talk about it or figure that out this year, and let the season play out. Obviously things could change at any moment. I do like the fact that it's reported as a mutual thing and not, oh, Randle is not interested, and as a blanket statement, or as the front office and the Knicks are not interested. Because maybe I'm hoping this at least closes the door on conversations throughout the season. And when I say that, I'm talking about us, the fan base, the content creators. You know, I'm a firm believer that these things do trickle down into the locker rooms. I think they watch what's being said out here. You know what I mean? And they don't need any distractions. So maybe if they're both on the same page of not having to talk and not having to think about that right now, that's one less distraction that could be on the table.
You didn't see the video with the guy that ran up on Randle?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So everyone's saying it, and Randall's like, "Well, who reported it?" And the guys is like, "Well, everyone's saying it." And Randall's like, "Well, who reported it? Who reported it?" Absolutely. So it's already got more traction than we wanted to have. To your point.
So I mean, and this is what I'm trying to like. I was under the impression or belief that we should extend them now. That's one less thing that we got to talk about, worry about, figure out. You know what I mean? Depending on when that extension is done, you know what I mean. Maybe he's not even trade eligible until next year, which again would be a blessing that we don't got to worry about. Are we moving him or are we not? But I don't know, man. I get frustrated. A lot of the fan base, the mock trades is going around. You know what I mean? I haven't seen one where I feel like it's a worthy trade. I think there's only maybe 3 people in this league right now that I would trade Randle for straight up and feel like, okay, we won. And that's Giannis, and Embiid. I would probably have to think and go back and forth on who the third or fourth guys would be, but it's not too many people that's putting up the numbers that he's done, that produced the way he has over the year, continuous All NBA, All Stars. You know what I mean? Like
Anthony
this guy,
Davis. Anthony Davis.
He goes in and out of my consensus as far as what I do and what I not. But yeah, man, I don't get it, man. They like to talk about the record and what they did, what the Knicks did without Randle. But let's not forget, in January we was 11-1 with him, right? So if you do the math and that continues, whatever that record would have been, not saying it would have been 22-2, 33-3, whatever the case, but we was on pace to be better than we was without him, even though we
that was without Bridges.
and that was without Bridges. I looked up some stats, man. It said Julius Randle was the third most double team player in the league last year. Only people double team more was those two guys I just mentioned, Embiid and Giannis. That's one thing that you talk about trading him for complementary pieces. These guys aren't going to command no double team. These guys are not going to be able to create shots for themselves, collapse the defense, and then create shots for others. 24, 9, 5. You're not getting those numbers from just an average Joe. And he was on the best stretch of his career last year before he got hurt. Best stretch of his career. And this is what a historically horrible start to the season, where the guy Tommy Bear was tweeting out after every game, after 3 games, Julius Randle is having the worst percentages to start a season. After 5 games, he's still having the worst. Like, it went up to like 11, 12, 13 games. Tommy Bear, after 13 games, this is the worst start of any player NBA history. Randle's numbers. And then to end the season where it ended with the numbers he had, like, that's a historic turnaround. I only expect him to continue to grow, continue to be better. This guy went through the fire in New York City where most guys would run from it. You see what KD had to deal with in Brooklyn? He ran from it. He couldn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie was under some pressure outside of just basketball, but you know what I mean? He had to get out that situation. And that was in Brooklyn. That's not New York pressure. That's not New York. It's a little bit different. It's close, but it ain't the same, man. People gotta put some respect on Randle's name and stop just acting like he's replaceable with a glorified role players. We got role players throughout this team that are complementary to him. So I'm tired of hearing these narratives about, how is Julius Randle gonna fit? To me, he was the missing piece in this playoff run.
True that.
And as much as Brunson did when Randle went out, he had to fight and struggle and claw for all those buckets. You know what I mean? Like, things was a whole lot easier when people couldn't double team off Randle. Brunson was getting easier shots. People couldn't double team Brunson, or Randle was getting easier shots. Like, that was the best stretch of basketball I've ever seen from the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean,
we just happened to claw our way to 50 wins. But had it been a healthy team, I think we might have been a lot closer to Boston record-wise than we ended up.
That's a fact.
I think we would have been a lot closer to Boston as far as meeting them in the playoffs and potentially dethroning them, or if not giving them at least the toughest series they face throughout this playoffs. They lost 2 games in the entire playoffs, I believe. I'm willing to. I mean, I can't prove it, but I'm willing to put money that we would have won at least 2 against them. But yeah, man, that's my rant. You guys can add to it. But this thing is frustrating the way these.
I mean, we already get ready going to the 24-25 season, but a lot of people knew that if well, I ain't even gonna say a lot of people. Boston is one of them teams that didn't want to play us healthy. Indiana was glad that they didn't have us healthy.
And it's static when OG went out.
Right. So the thing is, this is why, when all them people talking about trade Julius, this is why a trade for Julius is not happening. You have to keep 2 scenarios open. And the scenarios are, like, if you trade Julius right now, then you already said this is what I'm going with. And whatever you trade for him and this Nova Connect and all this stuff, it don't work, then what are you gonna do? And people don't even think about, what if this Nova thing doesn't work? How much time are we going to give this? So you got to keep Julius amongst this team to see if this all can work. Because if it doesn't work, well, if it works, then we all happy. If it doesn't work, then we have another move.
A pivot move. Yep.
Yeah, you can't give up all your moves right here, right now, and it doesn't work because you have nothing else to do. Where you gonna go? So I look for Julius as he did last year, and like he said in on the Paul George podcast, this is the first time that I have him, whereas I be I'm not working out, I'm not conditioning, I'm not doing anything. I get to sit and watch, study, learn, and watch footage. And that helped his game out to a mental. That helped his mental approach to the basketball game that much better when he came into the season. The only problem is he was unable to work out on that foot. So if you can't work out and get it to where it is, you're gonna still be tentative until you get comfortable. Okay, it's strong enough. I can go with it. And the whole beginning of the last season, he was really just testing what he can do, what he can't do. How much pain is he still gonna feel pain? Is it developing? Is it getting stronger? He was dealing with all that. And at the same time, still trying to find conditioning. So when he fought through all that and found himself in the shape and found that, the ankle was good, you seen the Julius Randle that we all, wanted to see, the downhill Julius. Getting downhill, not just settling for the trades all the time, shooting the mid-range, posting up, driving to the basket, kicking, finding other players. He was doing all that. So now you're out of that lineup again, and you have a chance to do some more watching, studying. I don't know why people think Julius can't, and learn and watch and understand what he needs to do when he come back on this court. Julius knows for a fact he's the breadwinner for this team moving forward, but he also knows that he don't have to go all the way out of his character, his game, to try to prove to everybody. Well, all he got to do is just fit completely in. Julius ain't even got to go get 23 and 12. Julius can go get 18 and 12, and that's good because we got four guys. We know Brunson's going to put up 20, but still we know Julius is going to put up 20. But we do know that any OG, and we do know Bridges, they can put up anywhere from 16 to 19 themselves, average.
Just be more efficient. That's it.
We do know Dante can put up 10 to 12 points, average. We do know Josh can put up 10 to 12 points, average. You know what I'm saying? So we can score and everything. It's just making everything, mesh and rock together. I can't wait to see more the naysayers and the haters and the some fans that doubt and all that. See what this roster really going to become this season is about. About to jump off. It's going to turn a lot of heads.
Let me read these stats real quick. So, top 10 of players that had double teams, the percentage, right? So, Giannis was double teamed 36% of the time. Mm-hmm. He had the ball. Embiid 35.8, Randle 34 even, Luka 33.5, Shea 33.4, Kawhi 33.3. Harden 32, Brunson number 7 31.2, Booker 31%, and Brandon Ingram 29.1%. Out of those 10 guys, Randle was number 2 in points off the possessions on those double teams. Only guy who was higher was Giannis. And him and Brandon Ingram were tied at 1.2 points per possession that they would double team.
Okay, so while you're reading that right there, look at that top 10 again. because I want to just make sure. But the way it's sounding like we got 2 double team tandem guys on this team, and nobody else has that. And now
The
you got
Clippers.
Bridges with this double team tandem. You know what I'm saying? That nobody else has that. To go along with OG. So if
76ers
we was
do.
the only double team tandem
76ers
team,
do. Philly
huh?
does. Philly does.
Yeah, Philly. Well, Embiid. I
Well,
mean,
in the top 10, you got
what's-
MB, but Maxi's not in that top 10, right?
and neither was Paul George. Excuse me. The Clippers got Kawhi and Harden in the top 10,
Okay.
but they're the only other team that
Yeah,
have
yeah,
two.
yeah. You're right. They had James and they got Kawhi. But okay, but nobody else in the East.
And then they had the highest. I mean, Brunson had 1.19 points per possession, so he ranked. Let's see he ranked 7th in both in points off of double teams and in percentage of the time he's double teamed. And Randle was 3 in the percentage and 2 in points off double team.
And a sidebar to all this, a few years back when Bridges was the number 3 guy with Booker and Paul, and they had their double teams and they got him open. Hence, he's scoring very efficiently and getting lots of open shots.
Yeah, because these points are not him scoring. That's just the points generated. So it may be off the assists. You know what I mean? That's points off the double team. Him scoring, that's points off the double team. So to your point, yeah, Bridges thrives in that role. You know, OG with that corner 3 thrives in that role. And then you have Brunson and Randle who are receiving the double teams, but guess what? They know how to get the ball out, like and assist off of the double team. So yeah, this team is just constructed so well, but Randle is a part of that. Like, let's not forget, he's just as important. And let's not forget how difficult things became. Now Brunson excelled, but you know what I mean? He had to take more difficult shots.
It was tough.
It became a lot more harder. The efficiency got a little bit worse once Randle went down, because guess what? We can focus completely on you. You know what I mean? Nobody else is going to create for themselves and others.
Well, I don't see that happen back-to-back years, man. They still can't stop that dude. So that's
No, I agree, but I'm just saying
yeah.
Randall's presence makes it
Right.
easier for Brunson.
I mean, it makes it easier. It makes it easier for him, and I'm not saying that, you know, because of what Randle does in it. I'm just saying that's just the facts. I don't care what you do with that dude. Brunson don't care who's in front of him at all.
That's a fact. And you know, on the flip side, we've seen when Randle doesn't have the Brunsons or that supporting cast, yeah, those double teams become a little bit more difficult. It's not as easy, or we didn't see Randle excel through the double teams prior to having the supporting cast around him. You know what I mean? Like it became a struggle. But he also went through a full year of adjusting to being that guy, and then the rest of the league adjusting to him being that guy. You know what I mean? Like so it went from that first year where he was the lead guy, great. That second year, the whole league knew, all right, we gotta adjust now. We gotta double team Randle. We gotta figure out how to stop it. And then he had to adjust, which took him another year. You know what I mean? But the rest of these guys, the rest of our team, like now they don't gotta go through that process, that learning curve of you know what I mean? We'll see. Maybe the league adjusts to Brunson coming into this year, but he got the supporting cast around him.
Yeah,
to where
like
to me,
I mean,
it gets easier from here.
Brunson,
you know what I mean?
Bridges, OG, and Randle. Let me tell you something.
Pick your poison.
Pick your poison. You got two guys that get doubled. Randle was averaging 5 assists. Brunson averaging almost 7 assists. Bridges, great at catch and shoot, great at cutting to the basket. OG, great with the corner three, great at cutting to the basket. I just think that, man, like these 4 players, and I think for people that were like, why is everybody so distraught about losing Hartenstein? Because these 4 players with Hartenstein in the middle to help distribute that ball would have just had the offensive IQ on like overload. I know we don't need Mitch to be able to do this, do that offense, but man, like just the visions that I had of seeing Hartenstein in that lineup with these 4 guys. I mean, like, man, that could have been literally the greatest Knicks team that we've ever seen.
Well, just go back 2 years ago now, because it's always a flip side of things. You know what I'm saying? And you know that for yourself. You can flip things too, Shuttle, as well as as well as Tony. But 2 years ago, all we had was Mitch and Grimes, and we had some of the sorriest dudes that's on defense. Julius lazy, Brunson can't keep nobody in front of him.
Can't stop running.
RJ can't stop nobody. You know what I'm saying? And how much Mitch had to go and do and run all over the place. That took his toll. That took a lot out on Mitch too. You know what I'm saying? Running all over the place to help this guy, say that guy, get back, and just try to protect the rim, and still try to rebound, and still try to go down there and get offensive rebounds. But now you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that because now
they got the wing stop.
You got the wing stops. And then, like you mentioned those 4 guys. See, now you can really just play open and close. I always thought opening the game and closing the half, open that second half and closing the game was really the most important part of a game. You know what I'm saying? As far as from the opening of that first quarter and closing out before that first half end. But in between that first quarter, the middle part of that first half, just think of the guys you have now. Like Bridges, OG, Josh Hart, Dante. Just think of those guys, and so much experience that Josh and Dante was able to get because other guys was not even on the floor. Them guys is coming off the bench right now. You know what I'm saying? In the middle parts of the first and the first quarter and the halftime, them guys is able to do what they do in the middle of that and in the middle between the third and the ending up in the fourth quarter. While these guys right here, they can open and they can get good quality rest and come back in. You know what I'm saying? To close out. And that's what you want. That's why I'm happy for Tom, because Tom really has a team. He had a team last year, but we know what happened. You know what I'm saying? Just the injury bug. Now, just praying on God's will. Please just allow us to stay healthy, and everything else will take care of its own part. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I believe. I'm already on record and on file saying I already got my rooms reserved for June at club quarters. Already on reserve mine. I don't know what anybody else doing, but me and my family, I already done said it. Been saying it. Let me go ahead and reserve these things for June. Yeah, because this season right here.
Start putting your playoff money in the jar now.
Yeah.
Get your playoff jar. Start putting the chips in there.
No, go get it while it's cheap right now, is what I'm telling you. Because if it go,
I was gonna say the prices is going up.
If the Knicks get to the finals, Eastern Conference Finals, or the NBA Finals, shit, prices is gonna be out of the what?
It's like, do I want this down payment on the crib? or no, I want to see the Knicks win the championship. Oh, let me get to Eli Jets. Shout out to you for the super chat. He says people hate Julius, but I think he's extremely important to this team to to go on a serious run. His bully ball wears defenses down. What do you think, Tony? I think that's gonna need to be a staple. Something that he reintroduces that bully ball because I mean we have perimeter guys now, right? We got guys that really stretch the floor. So if he could be that dominant presence in the paint, especially if we utilize that small ball lineup where Mitch is not clogging it up for him, you know what I mean? I would love to see him kind of reemerge his inside presence. You know what I mean? Knock on wood, God willing. I know that's going to be a test for him to attempt, testing out that shoulder and becoming a bruiser again. No pun intended. But I think it's very important because we don't have another inside presence, if you will. You know what I mean? Somebody that could collapse the defense from within the paint. Not on a drive per se, but just being in the paint. So yeah, that bully ball is going to be essential, and I don't think we have another guy that can really do it. Just post up down there and kind of command double team. So yeah, I agree 100%. Appreciate the super chat.
Yeah, there's no other post threat. There's no other post threat on this team.
And then I just want to shout out one more comment, and then we're gonna get into this J Boogie record to close us out of here. I figured it out, J Boogie. I know how to. I figured it out. I know how to do it now. So you know what I mean.
Now
Send me
you
the
gotta
record.
go back and grab the other 30 you did never.
Hey, we might just do a mixtape show there one day. You know what I mean? Just drop the whole. And you could critique your own records. You know what I mean? Tell people what was on your mind when you made the record and all that. I think that'd be a dope show. So now I know
Yeah,
how to do it. I'm with it. I'm with it, bro.
I just finished talking to Queen the other day, and I told her, I'm just waiting for my other partner to come about, and I think I'm getting ready to come out with a show called The Clout, and I want to spell it KL, but I need to finish getting the manifestation for KLOUT, which I know is Nick Love, but I need to come up with the other three letters and what that is. I think I'm gonna be trying to just go around and just get people that that I've been rocking with and I've been following. You know what I'm saying? And have them come on shows whereas I can like interview them, so other personnel can see and understand the clout that they have inside as far as being a fan to the New York Knicks, because the real ones, is the ones that I love and I appreciate the most. And I even said it before, yeah, it looks good, guys coming back to the Garden and all that stuff. Wait, where y'all been at? You know what I'm saying? You come around, when we winning, you should have been here helping, you know what I'm saying, the organization get where it needed to be getting. Should have been here helping guys, develop and give them the understanding on what it is and how it is to play in the city and stuff like that. Instead of just coming around because we winning, you know what I'm saying? You can take those tickets and give it to people that's hard earned and been playing and been paying and coming to these games, you know what I'm saying? Appreciating the Knicks when we was losing. So, like the show that I'm gonna come up, it's gonna be like a clout show, whereas, you know what I'm saying, it's pretty much gonna be, talking to people that really got clout inside this, you know what I'm saying, in this field of the New York Knicks. So that's where I'm at right there. I just wanted to come up with something, try to bring something new and different to the table, because we got so many great content creators, and then we got so many other new platforms that came out, you know what I'm saying, last year and is moving along and stuff,
It's a
you know
fact.
what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to be rocking with everybody and and being fans of everything that somebody has going on. But the ones that's been here, as Denzel say, to get through the rain, you got to get through the mud. You know the ones that went through the mud. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I just really respect those more than some of these other people. But even though I still go and show love to some of these new content creators and everything. And I got a new podcast song that I'm gonna be doing too to big up some of these other podcast shows, you know what I'm saying? I don't think your show was mentioned in the last podcast too. So I'm going to come out with another podcast anthem where I can big up all these new podcast shows, you know what I'm saying? Like I bigged up all the, you know what I'm saying, the big brother shows and stuff. Now, got to get the
Yeah.
little brother shows because
If
sooner or later
if I
we ain't gonna
wasn't
be around.
if I
Huh?
wasn't if I wasn't mentioned, I didn't notice
Huh?
because the nothing but Knicks love was, you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
MBK fan. So you know what I
Right, right.
mean? To
Yeah.
me, I was right in that right
Yeah, I
in that
think I
space.
just I think I just wish Sim. I've been spitting this venom since Karate Flick with Mr. Sim was sharing nothing but Knicks. I think I went from him and then I went on, I think the Freezy and the other guys, like that, you know what I'm saying? But it's so many shows like right now that, I can do a whole complete remix just to let everybody know because all in all that being said and done, we got the biggest podcast fan base it is on TV. Basketball season comes, YouTube is shut down by the New York Knicks. Twitter Spaces is shut down by the New York Knicks. There's no other sports going on, you know what I'm saying, that really they try to do it, but nah, it's not ringing off like that. And
And,
Philly just started. I see the Philly thing. Come on, man. Stop.
yeah, we inspired them.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know what happened with these series, with these playoff runs. We showed out. We didn't just show out for ourselves. We
Mm-hmm.
made our presence felt in the other fan bases
Yeah.
community. You know what I mean? And they felt it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They monetized off it too, but they, you know what I mean? They felt our
Mm-hmm.
presence.
They
So now
felt our
it's like,
presence.
oh, they like, oh, all right. Let me take a little shot at the Knicks
Mm-hmm.
because they know we're gonna flock in. We're gonna set them straight. We're gonna call them out on they bad takes,
Yep.
and you know what I mean. And they're like, yo, we're gonna engage. But you want to
DJ.
introduce this record? Or actually, before we do that, Shuttle, you want to add anything to the discussion before we close out of here?
Nah, I mean it's the all season. As you can see, we in all season attire. We ready for a quiet, uneventful remaining off season. All the moves have been made that we need to make, except for one, and even that one is not going to be super major. So, we're gonna be chill. Take a chill pill for a little bit. But I would want to add on that, as I told you last weekend and gave a couple of quick snippets, I got the new blend tape that's about to drop. And just like you were talking about with Jay Boogie, I'm just texting my art guy, actually my artwork guy, while we're doing the podcast, like, yo, what's up with my artwork? Mark exclusive, what we really doing? So as soon as I get the artwork, then I'm gonna put together a promo campaign and I'm gonna do a live. I want to do a live, a live, viewing, playing all of the blends on the tape, let everybody hear it for the first time, and and then we'll drop it probably like a week after that. But I'm trying to make sure I catch a little bit of this summer because blends is always great for the summertime. You know what I mean? But
The day parties.
yeah. I let a couple loose at a day party yesterday, so so it's all about the blends in the summer, especially New York City.
That's what's up. Eli Jet again with the super chat. Appreciate you. Tony, love the show, man.
Let's
And the
go
crew.
Jets. Let's
Go
go
Knicks.
Jets. Let's go
I
Jets too.
appreciate you. Almost missed that because I had the record up. So you know what I mean. We're gonna get right into it. J Book, what's the name of this? What's the inspiration? What you want to say, or you want me to just go right in?
Well, the name of the song is called The Coat. You know what I'm saying? You got so many goats and everything. So I figured I wanted to come up with the coat. You know what I'm saying? And what that means is Knicks over all teams. That's exactly what it means. You know what I'm saying? There's no other team that I love more than the New York Knicks. You know what I'm saying? This is my biggest professional team that I love. You know what I'm saying? And it's Knicks over all teams. It's Knicks over all the other team haters, whatever you want it to be, man. But that's what it is. Just some soulful, just touching down and and spitting some bars on a soulful track. And while Shutter was saying about his artwork, and shout out to my man CP, the artist. I gotta shout him out because when he does everything that I do, as far as my artwork, my singles, my album covers, I get him to do everything. The last one he did was the Knicks Symphony, and that was crazy right there. So I just want to shout out CP, the artist, for his work, anything he doing, and just know anything that you need done, you can't get it up under the life of this orange and blue. There's so much talent in so many ways, that we got going on. You can find somebody that you can find something that you need amongst somebody that's up under this orange and blue before you go somewhere else, and you'll probably get that better love with them because you're Knick fans together. So
And
pretty much go ahead, Tone.
I was just gonna add, and don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to reach out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was very antisocial before before I got on these shows, and people like J Boogie, people like Sim, people like Queen. You know what I mean? Like they extend their hand, they help out. But with the main thing I learned was don't be afraid to ask. You know what I mean? You never know. Reach out in the chat, reach out on DMs, whatever. You know what I mean? People know you and they're willing to help.
Yep. Show your talents. Show your talents. So our platform, is not just for basketball. It's for use it for anything. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's productive and respectfully, you know what I'm saying? Use the platform. Don't just, settle for one thing. You know what I'm saying? Use it. It's here for you. You never know who's listening, who's watching at any point in time. And if somebody is listening and watching and looking to hear something from you, it don't have to be rap. It could just be a conversation, and you don't speak it, that's a blown opportunity for you.
That's a fact. But yeah, let's get into this quote. Knicks over all teams. I should have let Shadow, the DJ, introduce it, but you know what I mean? We gonna get it. We gonna go ahead. What you say?
I said I think Jay Boogie did a great job. You know what I mean? It's his record, so he did it right. You know how to introduce his record.
Exclusive. Let's go.
I said, don't it sound so beautiful? Don't it sound so beautiful? Let me touch your soul. It's the coat, baby. I'm the coat.
Madison Square Garden, we got garden dreams. I'm the coat that means Knicks over all teams. A lot of teams behind the wheel this year, they getting slumped. Miss Maryland already told me put them in the trunk. The city look like a movie called It Can't Touch Us. Don't you wish you had a Tony loading up the buses? The Road Squad, the Travel Squad, the Knicks Squad. That floor seat with Fat Joe, that's a terror squad. The Nick Jers with the Tim boots. The headband, tell them that the dude's loose. This goes out to all the real loyal Knick fans. The pain felt before JR was the sixth man. The LJ go-to part the headband. The game winner, the smoothest, Allen Houston. They say I give a sermon like a church man. I need my money like James, let my dough land. The 4-7 broke Bernard means I'm on fire. The same day, Candace announced she retired.
Still hate.
My flow just stay tighter. I'm Fred Katz on beats, the Knicks staff writer. On game nights, New York City with the bright lights. My energy, Josh Hart, I got the mic and ice. It's only right that I give thanks. When it come to these Knick bars, I'm Lloyd Banks. I give a take on your partners for the uplift. And tell Kenny don't be switching out the handkerchiefs. Over here, we really got them garden dreams. I'm the coat that means Knicks over all teams. Knicks over all teams. I said Knicks over all teams. Recognize, I'm the coat, motherfucker.
More things on the way. More
No
things
doubt.
on the way.
It's on the streaming platforms, correct?
No, I ain't
Not,
even
not
put it
yet.
on. I
Okay.
ain't even put it on the streaming
Look,
platform.
you can't even go get. Now you
You
got
can't
you
even
got
go
to come
get it.
back to the show and fast forward if you want to hear it again. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I'm sure it'll be on the streaming platform soon.
Oh yeah, it's a
And
new platform. It's a new platform. I think Kanye West did it last. It's a platform where you can put your music up, and what it is, they they manage and they manage your music for you and everything. And whoever you can go you can go there, and whatever you want, however you want to support the artist, you can pay what you want to pay. You can't pay nothing less than $5. So if you spend $5 on it, me and the production, we'll split it in half. If you spend 10, we'll split it in half. That's just, goes to show that you appreciate the work somebody else has done. Because be honest with you, the stream platforms and all that, you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of people don't know. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. With me myself, season to season, I spend $30,000 to $40,000 on my music, productions, beats, studio time, mastering, mixing. I spends that. You know what I mean? And that comes out of my pocket. You know what I mean? But I do it for the love. But the streams and everything, you know what I'm saying? They just getting away with their platform, and it really doesn't. It just helps you play a song where you can go get a song for somebody. But if
if
we
you
got
want
so
to
many,
support, buy the
yeah,
records.
buy
Buy
the
the
records,
records. You know what I mean? Like
buy the records.
you appreciate the streams for sure, but if you want to really support,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you feel the record, buy the record.
Yep. Yo, great show, my man TC.
Yo, appreciate you, man. As
I'm gonna get
always,
ready for that 5 o'clock in the morning because it's gonna be here to hurry up.
I hear you, bro. Appreciate you jumping on. Shout out to the chat. Knicks and
Shout out
Brews,
to the
we
chat.
back.
If
Your
you really
blackest
want to
time.
support, buy the custom DJ Shuttle flash drive. You
Yeah.
understand? You get your party pack. I load you up with the blends and 5 mixes, 90 minutes each. Old school hip hop, house, R&B. You understand? You got a 6-pack of music. Get you a DJ Shuttle custom pack, only $40. We load you up with 6 mixes, 90 minutes for the mixes, plus the whole blend tape. And yeah, I mean $40. I mean, you load that in, you got a new whip, you put the flash drive right in the whip,
Right
you
in the
got
way.
a new whip,
Mm-hmm.
put it in your computer, and download it, upload it to your iPhone from your computer. And do it like that. So but we're gonna make a digital link available too. So I'm working on that.
No doubt.
Y'all heard the season is about to jump off. A whole lot of things is happening. Support.
That's right. Buy the records. Buy the thumb drive.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'll
Is
figure it out.
How does that look? Can you see that?
I see the logo. I see the logo for sure.
No doubt.
There you go.
You understand what we're doing, Jay Boogie?
Hold
I
up.
see that. Trust me. I've been working on that. I'm trying to put that right there, MSG. I'm working. I'm trying to put one in the building.
Hit the IG follow right there. You heard?
DJ
Yeah.
NYC.
Fan base, Twitter, X, whatever, everything. DJ Shuttle NYC. Wow.
No doubt. Yo, we out of here. I appreciate you fellas, man, as always, coming through. And till next week, man. Let's go Knicks. Your blackest time.
Let's go.